Whoa, you don't see this one every single day. Check it out. Missiles created their own orbit after a dogfight posted by Kanto Region Champ Red. But there is a lot to go over in this video about all things Starfield news and updates because we've got potential signs of DLC littered throughout Starfield. Could this actually be coming to the game? And Microsoft just had some very choice words about its future, stating that they might have to exit the gaming business if they don't start meeting some very lofty goals. But what does this mean for Starfield exactly and Bethesda? And I think there's more to this than people realize, so we need to really read between the lines here. And some crucial shipbuilding advice that will make your life 10 times easier going forward in Starfield. It only took 120 hours to figure this one out, so we've got to definitely talk about it. And are people just bad at mastering this one crucial feature of the game, or does this need to change in the future? So yeah, we'll dive into that as well. Also, take a look at this right here. All right, so the ultimate browser for gamers has been updated recently. Yes, we're talking about the Opera GX browser, and they've taken it to the next level with their new mods. You can completely customize your experience with new mods, backgrounds, themes, colors, music, and sound effects, and much more. Now, the mod store offers free mods and even community-created mods too, and yes, you can even mix and match them as well. So join me right now. It is time to upgrade to the best browser for gamers. Download Opera GX for free on PC and mobile by following the link in that description below right now, so check it out. And apps like Twitch, Discord, Facebook Messenger, and more are directly integrated into Opera GX, so you can easily check up on everything in one place. Now, Opera GX also has an import tool that allows you to quickly import all your settings from your previous browser to GX, like browsing history, bookmarks, and cookies. And not only does Opera GX have its own extension library, but it's also compatible with every Google Chrome extension, which is super useful. Also, I love this feature right here, GX Corner, because it helps me find the latest free games and best stills, as well as keeps me up to date on all the latest game releases and gaming news. And the GX mods you apply to Opera GX will also change up the background of GX Corner, which is a really nice touch. So join me right now and download Opera GX for free on PC and mobile by following that link in the description below to get started with the ultimate gaming browser. Check it out. All right, so I wanted to start out with the discussion that is definitely intensifying around Starfield, and that is this one right here. Check it out. What happened to the gore in Bethesda games? There's so much blood in Starfield, and yet all the dead characters look like they're laying down for a quick nap. Let me know if you guys agree with this or not, and if you think that this needs to change in the future for Starfield or Bethesda games entirely. Now, I think the easiest answer for this would just be have a simple gore slider in the options menu. If you want that type of gore, just turn it on. If you don't, shut it off. I think that should definitely be an option because yeah, maybe you want gore like perhaps what you've seen in the Fallout games, or maybe you want to keep it more Skyrim level type gore. That should be ultimately up to you. And this leads us into this post right here. We should be able to customize Vasco or build our own robot. And we have several shots here of the different robots that you can discover throughout Starfield. This was actually posted by Spartan Soldier, so great job actually finding all the various robots out there. But yeah, check it out. It says, if only Bethesda figured out how to do this in a previous game, too bad they forgot. And a response, I figured they would make it a DLC, but it should be in the base game. And we have further responses here stating that it better be a free update, having a game element in a past game, and removing this feature in your next game only to reintroduce it in a paid DLC is some EA Sims level crap right there. So we'll see what they decide to do ultimately, but people are watching and waiting. So I do hope and expect that if this is included in the game in the future, that it would be a free update. I cross my fingers that is actually the case, because putting any type of price tag on something that's pretty much already developed would definitely be a big no-no, and people would definitely take notice for sure. But hey, officially we do know that they plan on updating this game in really cool ways, and I am excited for the expansion for sure. And we got to talk about some of the strange loot you might be discovering on your adventure in Starfield. Guess what? That might not be a bug. So check this out right here. Some cool discoveries. It says, at first I thought it was a wrong loot table bug, but it is really just one of the many small details that make this game great. This is really cool. So it says this right here. So I was wandering around exploring some of the planets when I landed on a randomly generated abandoned facility. Some pirates were lurking around, and after dealing with them, I activated the defense bot from the computer just to blow it to pieces for the loot. To my surprise, there was a Terra Brew coffee in the bot, and I thought, yeah, it probably got here by error from a random loot table. Even chuckled a bit at the funny bug, but about 2 minutes later, I found a data slate that contained a scolding message from the facility's HR department telling employees that bots are for security purposes and reprogramming them to brew and deliver coffee is against company regulations. I absolutely love this little piece of detail, and it really just shows how much effort, care, and love went into this game. I love this. So yeah, if you're finding weird stuff around the game, maybe, just maybe, it isn't a bug. Investigate some of the loot around the area, some of the data pads, that sort of thing, to really get some answers as to what's going on in the environments. There's some really cool secrets hidden within that I think you should definitely not ignore, and I love how they have included these details in a lot of the environments. All right, so yes, we got to talk about a feature that people, are they just bad at this feature, or does it need to improve? Because it seems like a very divisive feature the more people get into the game. Like hour 100, they're like, ugh, why is this in the game? Some people are like, hey, I love it. Check it out right here. It says the following. Are people just bad at lock picking? This one comes from Mr. Ludicity, who says, so I've seen and heard several people in real life and online complaining about the lock picking minigame being broken, stating they encounter locks without the proper digipicks to solve the problem, effectively wasting time in picks. I put about 80 hours into the game and have not encountered a single unsolvable lock puzzle. Regardless of whether the minigame is well designed or not, does it actually generate unsolvable locks, or are people just making mistakes, not realizing it, and blaming the game? So yeah, let's see the responses real quick. I've hardly seen anyone complain about how hard it is, more so how the loot isn't worth the effort. Now that is also another problem that I'm noticing, especially like with the expert master locks. You expect to find something amazing behind some of these safes and doors, and you know, you're kind of like, man, not another Grendel. You know, so that can happen for sure. I myself, like, if you are struggling with digi picks and lock picking in general, and you're like, God, I'm just over this, there are some really cool mods on PC where it kind of makes it extremely easy. So if you know you're going to get through the lock pick, why not have that mod? That's also another question. But some people feel like the actual perk system itself should evolve with the lockpicking to where you have a simplified system at the end of that perk system. I know this was also a complaint with Hogwarts Legacy as well, where, hey, why not just use the wand and an instant unlock? You know, you finally make it to that point within your career path, I suppose you would say. So yeah, we got to talk about what someone discovered after apparently playing 120 hours of Starfield. I kid you not. Let me know if this is you. It says, I think I might be an idiot. Didn't realize you could do this until 120 hours in. If you highlight the entire ship and then press J, you can color all the parts at once instead of doing it one by one. I'd say about 40 of my 100 hours was me going piece by piece, coloring each part. Hey man, it happens, you know. But we do have a question. Some people are wondering, hey, how do you highlight the entire ship? Well, hovering over any ship part, double click on PC or double tap RB. So the more you know should help you out with your shipbuilding and make it more streamlined. But yeah, also mentioning shipbuilding, we have this one right here. It says the following. Everyone frustrated by door placement using the shipbuilder should read this. This one comes from Alan Cave. It says, in the shipbuilder, if you want to determine where a door is created between two halves rather than leaving it up to a random chance, then do not just add a hab and connect it to the ship wherever you want it to go. That leaves it to chance. Instead, select the connection point on the first hab where you want a door to be and click attach and select the second hab. That way, you will specify exactly where the door will be. Cheers. Wow, great tip right there, and should help out when actually doing those door placements. But yeah, you know, shipbuilding overall can see improvements, and that was a hot topic right here. Check it out. It says, ship habs should have actual functions rather than just being aesthetics, but ultimately useless spaceship crawl space. I 100% agree with this. It's happened to me and I'm like wondering, why is this not like functional? What in the world? And it says, it's just baffling that you get huge ass cargo hull with no actual effect on cargo limit. How about that Dalmas brig? Sounds really cool till you realize you can't even take prisoners. I really wish there's added benefit on using different habs. I look at this stuff and I'm like, this is going to be reserved for like DLC and expansions. That's my opinion on it. Again, with how they do DLC and how they do expansions, I think they're going to have to be a little bit careful with that, of course, because people are going to expect certain things to perhaps be free updates, and other things, of course, would fall into perhaps the expansion, that sort of thing. However, let's keep reading on. It says, I really wish there's added benefit on using different habs. Battle stations should give a firepower DPS bonus, should have mission boards too for flavor. Computer core should add shields or speed up auto targeting. Just put engineering and workshop together and then have that improve repair speed. That or increase reactor energy. Living quarters should affect crew cap. It's pretty egregious. Infirmary with a dock on board should produce aid items. Current one doesn't do crap to elements unless I'm missing something. Cargo hulls should add to cargo capacity. I love the shipbuilding aspect, but I just feel there's so much stuff missing. 100% agree. Again, I wish Bethesda would come out and say, yes, we do plan on updating shipbuilding quite a bit in the future. That sure would be nice. So we got to talk about that recent leak, of course, related to Microsoft and their future. And of course, there were some stuff tying into Bethesda as well. Check it out right here. Here's the headline. Microsoft documents leak new Bethesda games, including an Oblivion remaster. I'm sure you've heard about this. I'm going to go over this part very quickly and get into the new stuff. It says, unannounced games in the presentation in this leak included the Oblivion remaster, Doom Year Zero and DLC, the Fallout 3 remaster, a sequel to Ghostwire Tokyo, and Dishonored 3. Oh boy, Dishonored 3, that would be very, very cool as well. But yeah, no mention of anything for the future of Starfield in there, but that's not to worry. However, this one kind of made me scratch my head and was like, wait, what? It says Microsoft may exit gaming business if Game Pass subscribers off console don't increase enough by 2027. And I was like, wow. Okay, let's get into this one. So it says this, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer made some remarkable statements on a potential exit from the gaming business. The quotes are extracted from an investigational hearing conducted as part of the Federal Trade Commission's investigation into Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Now, the document has been released today, revealing plenty of interesting information, including a detailed Bethesda games release schedule from 2020. Here, though, we'll focus in on Spencer's remarks on the future of Microsoft's gaming business. Yes, we shall. So it says this right here. FTC lawyer James Weingarten put the following internal Xbox Game Pass slide in front of Spencer, asking him whether he agreed with the projections that show the subscription service surpassing 100 million users before fiscal year 29 and fiscal year 30, largely due to an increase in the PC and cloud market. And you can see the fancy smancy graph right here. You can make sense of it on your own here, but it's just so showcasing some projections here. However, it says, Spencer said in no uncertain terms that Microsoft could exit the gaming business if this projection became reality. Microsoft needs the light green and blue segments, PC and cloud, to gain much larger and much faster by fiscal year 2027, or it could opt out of the business altogether. Here's his actual quote. It says, I do not believe that is what the future Xbox business would look like. This is a presentation from our devices organization to the gaming leadership team. So this is the view from the team that is chartered with building our hardware on what the future business would look like. I can fairly safely say that if we do not make more progress than this off of console, we would exit the gaming business. If this were the outcome, we would. I don't believe we'd still be in the business. A majority of our customers are found off of our own hardware. I would hope by earlier than 2030. So when you ask me if I agreed with this chart, that the light green and blue, depending on what colors you see, there would have to be much larger, much earlier. I would say by fiscal year 26, 27 that we should be in that position, or we'd have to make a different decision with the business. Wow. So yeah, it says now there is a reason to believe that Spencer may have exaggerated a bit. Microsoft stressed throughout the whole FTC investigation and later in federal court that the acquisition of Activision Blizzard was critical to its plan to grow in mobile and cloud markets. Otherwise, it might as well exit the gaming business. So, I feel like there is a lot of psychological stuff going on here with these statements. If you really want people to work hard and for a goal, you got to say stuff like this and push them in that direction. So yeah, that's what I personally think is going on here. If you read in between the lines, what Phil Spencer is saying to his team is, we've got to work extremely hard. This is an extremely competitive business. And essentially it seems like their ultimate goal is to be the king, the top tier of gaming in general, through and through. They want to be the top dog here for sure. I think in the next 20 years, like they're looking at a big picture here for their goals. So yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's psychological to push, the team into working very, very hard for that goal. Also, yeah, looks like this was released as well. It says from a 2020 email thread among Microsoft execs, a list of expected ZeniMax games with what I think are hoped for release dates. Game releases slip all the time, and we know Starfield was planned for PlayStation 5 early pre-Microsoft acquisition. Did we know about Rhythm Game? Hibiki, I believe. Okay. But yeah. It is still a bummer, of course. I do have to admit that Starfield is never going to be on a PlayStation platform. Man, it sure would have been nice, but it is what it is here. And I have been enjoying it on PC. The good news is, from what I have heard, and let me know if I'm wrong or not, from what Digital Foundry has also said, Starfield on Xbox Series X is a very solid experience. And let me know if that's the case for you guys or not. Now, this was a really cool discovery right here. Check it out in Starfield. It says, today I found out the UC literally has second-class citizens. This was posted by Super Oven, I believe it is. And if you scroll down here, it says, they engaged in biological warfare less than 20 years ago and happily hoard both bioweapons and war criminals as state secrets. You can't stroll the streets of New Atlantis without bumping into heavily militarized police. They're a neo-colonial capitalist wannabe empire. Now I find out they literally have different levels of citizenship. The more I learn about the UC, the more I regret working for them. So let me know if you guys agree with this one or not. I guess it stirred up quite the conversation, but I love this reply right here because it's straight from one of my favorite movies, Starship Troopers. It says, service guarantees citizenship. Are you doing your part? So yeah, that's the feeling I get from it. But some people take it super serious, some of this stuff. But yeah, I thought that was funny for sure. Now, if you're wondering this, check it out. It says, for those wondering how fast your O2 and health will drain with 1 million kilograms, it practically kills you instantly. As you can see right here. This one was posted by Bounty Kraken. So yeah, if you were curious about that one is a cool find right there. Also, this is awesome. I love highlighting Legos and Starfield. Just built my own Vasco using Lego bricks. This one comes from Bean Bricks right here. And look at this. It's beautiful. And we have another shot here as well. Check it out without the lighting. That is awesome, dude. Now, if he can make it move and actually carry stuff around for him, then he will have the actual full Vasco experience for sure. But yeah, I think you guys know what time it is. It's time to go over your top comments, so leave a comment down below. So yeah, let's get straight into this. What was my most recent video about? It's right here, actually. It says, Starfield's biggest feature is causing very big problems, but we also have fantastic news today. So that one is about New Game Plus, and I feel like I feel so conflicted about New Game Plus, but you guys had some very interesting takes on this one. So yeah, let's get into it. So it says this right here. I'd love them to start adding quality of life updates. That's the plan. So that is the plan going forward. I don't know how long they're going to do that for, but yeah, I really do hope they support it forever, indefinitely. Then we have Dark Matter 2525, who says this. Another fun little Easter egg is that when you're doing the Crimson Fleet questline, right at the beginning, when you're searching the prison, you can discover that one of the prisoners who was held there was named Delvin Mallory. He was one of your partners in the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. That is an awesome find right there. What an Easter egg. Now, we also have product of NZ, who says the settlement building in Fallout 4 was cool, but modders took it to another level. You could basically use any asset in the game, which makes the original settlement options seem limited. They do the same in Starfield. The outpost building will become beyond epic. And this makes me think back to the discussion, shouldn't these companies reach out to these modders and hire them, in some sort of freelance contractual agreement? I know that CD Projekt Red has been doing that with their games more recently, and I just think it is such a smart decision. If the community loves a feature enough, reach out, do some sort of contractual agreement, and also work directly with the community and fund what they have created to make your game even better. All right, we also have this one right here from Keith Smeltzer 9258, who says, I'd like to see the ability to rotate the halves to allow for more opportunities in your building, or even allow you to extend the length and height of the ship in the builder. Building a true Imperial Star Destroyer is hard when it limits what you can do. Yeah. I don't know. That could be reserved for DLC. Again, a lot of you guys also want the option to build a space station. Yeah, we have base building on planets. That is cool. But space stations, that's what I'm looking for next. Like, I want them to go all in on space stations. Man, that'd be cool. All right. We have Buzzkill, who says this. I understand why people don't like New Game Plus, but it really does make sense that you would lose so much based on the actual story. I say this even though I just made a completely new character rather than doing New Game Plus. I just beat the game my first time. I did a lot of side stuff and made the character a jack of all trades. So it took me about 125 hours. And I want to do something completely different this time. I'll probably do New Game Plus eventually, but it will be a while. I hear you. I'm still, again, very conflicted about New Game Plus. And that's why I thought, like, having New Game Plus part of the story probably wasn't the best decision, because it limits their freedom in how they can actually do New Game Plus. That's my issue with it. I feel like you could still have a cool story, but if it impacts a key feature of the game, why tie it so much into the story? Then again, I think it's still somewhat cool. That type of sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice it? I see New Game Plus being put on the table until, like, you do those multiple playthroughs with the different traits, the different background stories. Then, like you said, you're finally interested in discovering what New Game Plus is about. I see that's potentially the reason it's there. All right, so we have this one right here from Monstein, who says this, I have wanted blueprints in the game so badly. Shareable ones even so. If someone makes a good ship, you can use a blueprint and fly around to get the part. Yeah, blueprints would be cool. And I want to expand my thoughts here on this so badly right now, but I don't know if all of you have finished the story. So I'm not even going to get into it. Because what I'm about to say, would still be considered spoilerific to some of you. But man, anyway, everyone, finish up the story so I can talk more freely about this game. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Starfield news and updates. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, check out my Cyberpunk 2077 videos if you haven't already. Really cool updates out for that one. And I have been playing Phantom Liberty. I gave my review on that. All I have to say, it's a practical, like, 10 out of 10 experience. So good. But thank you so much for watching. And I will see you all next time. Take care.